What is up, guys? It is Speed here, and we are back with another patch video, because how could we not? This patch is super hype. I'm also just really excited for when they release the hero changes. I'm not sure when they'll be, but I'm super excited for that. And yeah, today's video is going to be 5 heroes or hero builds that you should be trying in this new patch. I've played a couple games now, I've watched a lot of pro matches, I've been talking to my MMR friends about the patch, and so I have a lot of ideas here that I really think could give you guys the edge on your opponents right now, and let's get into it. And so if you guys are excited for this video as well, I would obviously appreciate it if you could smash the like button and we could go for 5k likes. I know the last video is popping off as well, and 5k likes is a ton to ask for. It really is an absurd amount, but if we could go for that, I would appreciate it, and it would help the channel grow so we could keep daily videos going for the next decade, because hopefully Dota never dies. And on top of that, you guys know what I'm going to say, check out the gameleap website, but why should you check it out today? What is different about today? Don't skip! Alright, I want you skipping. Also, don't comment down below, Speed, I skipped the video. Am I a devil now? But why should you not skip it? Because also, on top of these 5 builds that you're going to see here on YouTube, there's going to be another 5 builds that I theory crafted with my friends and seen pro players use that are going to be posted on the gameleap website. So if you want a video, well, literally part 2 to this video that you're seeing here on YouTube, click the link down below in the description right now, sign up for your first month of gameleap where you get 25% off, and I'll see you there. Alright, getting into our first build, we have Blood Octarine LESHRAC. Now, LESHRAC is one I really want to talk about. It's actually a hero I've gotten to play with in this patch, and yes, in my opinion, it feels really good. So here's the build that I went. I'm not going to be doing this for every hero, but I want to start it off the bat with a really in-depth build that you can copy item for item. Am I sold that this is optimal? Of course not, guys. This is the first day after the patch. I'm just, you know, a lot of it's theory crafting, but really just kind of looking at the patch saying, oh, here's what's good. So for this LESHRAC build, what I did was I went 2 nulls, a bottle, and I'm really just committing to mana regen, right? My goal with this LESHRAC is to hit a timing that's more so around like the 20 to 25 minute mark, which we'll talk about. But I went 2 nulls, bottle, raindrops, a wand, mana boots, so I have an absurd amount of mana. Then after that, I go Kaya into a Bloodstone Rush, and the reason why I like Bloodstone on Lesh right now is for a couple reasons. Number 1, you get the mana regen amplification, which works well with the nulls. I think it works with bottle as well, don't quote me on that. You get 10% magic resist, which is good. LESHRAC is a hero that needs to tank up. It helps him out. You get obviously the health, and most importantly, the active Blood Pact is incredible on LESHRAC. There's no hero, in my opinion, that the active of Bloodstone works better on. You convert 30% of your max mana to health in 2 seconds. It's basically like getting a regen rune that goes 4 times as fast, and in the middle of a fight, on only an 85-second cooldown from like 250, you can pop this, right? It's really, really strong. I think it's something that more players are going to be using in this patch that is absolutely broken. So you go Bloodstone. After that, you can then go Octarine Core. This is where things get a little bit weird. The reason why Octarine Core can be alright is you can go Octarine Core into another Voodoo Mask, and basically the purpose of this with the Voodoo Mask is you get 25% lifesteal with the Octarine Core, and then you also get more lifesteal with this next Voodoo Mask. And the purpose is to just walk in, you have like 2500 HP, I'm not kidding, with Bloodstone Octarine you have that much, you pop your Blood Pact, and you frontline. You're a frontline LESHRAC. So yes, I got these items when I was playing. I got my Octarine at, I was having a really good game, to be fair. I was like 14-4, but honestly, it felt pretty easy with this Bloodstone build-up. But I got my Octarine around 24 minutes in. I recommend you strive for this at like 27. On top of that, can you just go like Boots of Travel Yules instead of the Octarine? Yeah, I think that's fine. You can play more of the split push pick-off version as well, and to make sure you can get to the backline. So it depends what you're playing against. Maybe if they have some backliners you need to get on top of, you can go Yules bots and try to work on that. Now getting into the second build, I want to talk about Orchid, because in my opinion, Orchid has the potential to be one of the best items of the patch. There's a couple items I think are very good as well right now, which I'll be talking about in a future video on this channel, so obviously you should subscribe. But here's a couple heroes that I think the new Orchid, that is currently 400 gold less, are good on. Number 1 is Nature's Prophet. This hero has continued to be strong. I do think it might get nerfed in the upcoming Heroes patch, but currently I think Fury on Orchid is insane. You hit this ridiculously early timing with Orchid, and yeah, all of a sudden you can get like a 13-minute Orchid on Nature's Prophet. I'm not kidding, it's possible. You can go Treads, Wand, Orchid, and all of a sudden you're just globally silencing people. They can't play the map, your ultimate gives you an insane amount of damage, Orchid gives ridiculous attack speed, 50 damage, a silence. It's just so strong on current Furion, who's my favorite hero. And the second hero I think Orchid is good on, this is not, you know, the third hero of the list, just another Orchid example, is Winter Wyvern. This is something we were seeing when Wyvern was particularly popular. And the reason for it is you take your level 10 damage talent, which is 50 right now. You take that, you buy an Orchid, you just go brown boots into Orchid with basically no other items, which is good because you have 2 Sage's Mask for the laning stage. Sure, they got nerf, but they're less gold, and still 1.2 mana regen with 2 of them is pretty dang strong. On top of that, if you want to get a little spicy, you could buy a Bassi as well, have a lot of mana, but nonetheless, you play Wyvern, you buy 2 Oblivion Staffs, which are really good build up. The Sage's Masks are incredible. Even the Quarter Staffs with your damage talent and Q is pretty dang good. And Oblivion Staffs also got buffed. So, Wyvern Orchid is good. Next up is something that I saw Arteezy playing recently, and he picked Arc Warden, and I was talking to my friend Albino Zebra. Everyone, in the comment section down below, say thank you, Albino Zebra, thank you. I'll tell you why you should say thank you. I'll let you know. And the reason is because he's saying that MKB is one of the best items in the game, and I'm going to read these stats off for you. Well, when we say best items in the game, one of the best DPS items in the game. And the reason for it is MKB is 4,300 gold, which is brutally cheap. Satanic, now after its nerfs, just to compare, is 5,800. So it's 1,500 less gold. That's a lot. It gives you 42 damage, which is a solid number, right? That's a solid number. Radiance, which is 800 more gold, only gives 60. It gives you 35 attack speed, which is pretty dang high. Like, that's solid. You know, you always want damage and attack speed. And this attack speed obviously works incredibly well with one of the best passives in the game, which is Pierce. A 75% chance to deal 100 bonus magical damage is really dang good. It's extremely good, right? It's just so much damage. You ruin a lot of the high armor heroes that are against you as well, like a TB and a Naga and a PL. MKB, if you can find the real one, just shreds them, right? They can't deal with it. On top of that, the build-up is different now. You can get this very early Blitz Knuckles. I'm not saying that this item alone is that good. I think it's mediocre, if anything. It's not any better than 2 Gloves of Haste. It's actually worse than 2 Gloves of Haste in cost and effectiveness. But nonetheless, Blitz Knuckles with a Javelin, you know, it's good. For certain heroes, it's going to be alright. It's not bad build-up. I don't recommend you rush MKB on certain heroes. But nonetheless, the reason why I'm saying all this is that that was a long rant. But Arc Warden, you can buy 3 Wraith Bands, which gives you 15 attack speed and all the other stats that Wraith Band gives you, as well as the armor. And then you buy an MKB, and you hit really hard. You don't even have to buy Treads. Arteezy didn't. You just 3 Wraith Bands, MKB. Can you buy Treads? Sure. MKB is a lot of damage on Arc Warden. And now just a couple of other heroes that MKB is good on is Wisp. Yeah, Wisp core, you can go Helm Dominator into MKB. I think Sniper MKB is very strong for all you know, 1k, 2k players. I think this is probably one of the best things in the game right now, like Mask of Madness, Dragonlance MKB. You're just going to shred. And then finally, Mirana MKB. You have a lot of attack speed, it works well, it's good. Next up is Vlad's Vengeful Spirit. And I know it's like, Speed, are you serious? You're telling us to buy Vlad's on Venge? Like, everyone in the pro scene was picking Vlad's Venge. We know. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe a lot of you don't. But why is this good? Vlad's was changed. The item was changed. Now, what Vlad's gives is all for right-clicking. I mean, it was in the past, kind of, but now it is specifically just a hard right-click item. The aura, the damage amp aura that was on Helm of the Dominator, and a big reason why it was such a powerful item, is now just on Vlad's. Vlad's gives 15% AoE lifesteal, and 18% bonus damage, as well as 2 mana regeneration, which is, you know, that's okay. But 18% damage with 15% lifesteal is pretty dang insane. Now, the build-up to this item, in my opinion, is mildly trash. I would say the Bassi is good, right? Ring of Bassi is pretty okay. But other than that, Morbid Mask is meh. Blades of Attack is meh. But the cool thing is, you pair this with Avenge, you reduce armor with Avenge, you give everyone around you extra attack range if they're range, and bonus attributes, and they're just gonna right-click. So hard. It's insane. Buy a medallion as well. It's insane. Your damage is insane. And that is why I think Vlad's Venge is going to just be the hero of the patch unless it gets nerfed. Do I think Venge is going to get nerfed soon? Likely. But for now, at the time of this video, it is really good. And lastly, I want to talk about Drum heroes. Now, Drum recently got changed to an item that is no longer an aura, but rather is a very good active item. So currently, Drums, when you activate it, gives 45 attack speed, which is a very high number. It also gives mana regen, some stats, a little bit of movement speed, and so overall, it's a great carry item. I mean, what carry doesn't like mana regen, stats, and movement speed? You know, it's just good. And then, of course, attack speed as well. And I think there's a couple heroes that particularly benefit from them. And I just want to mention them, right? So these are heroes you can all try Drums on. Number 1 is TERRORBLADE. I think this one is particularly good as your illusions also benefit from these stats. It's very, very, very strong in TB. The mana regen also helps you early game. Number 2 is Juggernaut. When you Omni Slash, you can activate the drums to basically be some sort of a Mask of Madness. Now, can you just go Mask of Madness as well? Yeah, you can. It just depends on the game. Maybe you feel like you have to be the frontliner for your team because you have a Skyrad, Zeus, Lina, and CM on your team, and you kind of just need to sit in the front to be a little bit more tanky, harder to kill, but slightly less damage, right? That's the route you can go with drums. You could also then transition from a drums into a Sanjin Yasha. You're really fast, and then you can even go back for the mom afterwards, and it's this really cool early to mid-game tempo build that I think should be experimented with. And finally is Slark and Gyro. I'm putting them together only because I think they can be relatively similar, where they can play high tempo with drums. Drums for TERRORBLADE can actually just mean that he's going to farm for longer, but also he can fight occasionally. For Jug, Gyro, and Slark, it generally is somewhere in between where they're going to go pretty aggressive most games, right? These are the heroes that often show up to a lot of fights, show up to dives, right? Constantly want to TP and look for engagements. TB can do that as well, but I think Gyro and Slark drums are pretty dang good too. And thank you guys for watching! If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more patch-related content in the future, let me know. I'm happy to hear also in the comments section, because I really do like to just think about the patch. I mean, I actually spent an hour and a half with my friend just talking about these items. And so yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys have been trying. I know there's a bunch of other builds that I'll be talking about. Some of them, well, I'll be talking about some of them over on the gameleap website right now, or tomorrow or today. Something like that. I guess it depends on when you're seeing this. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, and peace. Before you leave, just want to say a quick message. If you're trying to get better at Dota, or you just enjoyed that video, I know this is pretty general, and you're going to hear this quite a bit from me, but I recommend you sign up to gameleap.com. Why? Because I put a lot of effort into the content over there, and generally the effort I do there is different from the content you're going to see here on YouTube. It is different. In fact, I usually go a lot more in depth on topics or into niche topics that help you get to the next level even faster. Because on YouTube, I often have to keep it more mainstream. And that's even why I'm putting it at the end of this YouTube video. That's why this is at the end, because a lot of people just watch 5 minutes, they skip through just for like the dopamine spike. But if you are interested in actually getting better at Dota, I recommend you go to the description down below, get your discount right now by clicking the link, sign up, use the discount code that you're gonna see there, and I hope to see you there right now. So click it. And yeah, thanks for watching.